Good morning, yeah, so it's now day 72 of the vlog. Very dark again, but it is 5:45. Up early because it is Sunday and it is the day the gym closes early, so I want to get out a little bit earlier. So I'm going to do my Easter run first. Not quite as Eastery as I was planning, to be honest with you. Some of the roadside and stuff aren't quite Easter involved, but you'll see on the run and I'll show you before I go probably anyway. In terms of today, yeah, so I've got an email the other day about training plans, and they've got some videos, action challenge, which do the event, which give you some extra tips. So I'm going to watch them today and see if I can pick up any extra notes and maybe put them into practice next week. So we'll have a look at that. We're also going to look at a bit of darts today. So I've got another Easter game, which I'll do in the garden at some point as well. But darts is going to be one of the themes today. Obviously, doing ultra running and playing darts are two very, very different lifestyles, and people can't really imagine me as a darter now just based on sort of the health stuff I do. But I think darts is a sport, and I think it doesn't get enough credit. I want to test a few theories. Can we make darts a bit more active? How can we make darts a more active sport, essentially, that is more respected? But also before that, I want to see how many steps do darts players do. So an average game is probably about 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to work out today how many steps a darts player does. And then we'll do some sort of active games, maybe involving a dartboard, maybe add a little Easter theme as well. And yeah, maybe do some other things. I want to do an 18-minute challenge. How quickly can I tidy my room? Or 18 minutes, how much of my room can I tidy? Because what you'll see later is it's a mess with all the exercise stuff I've bought. So yeah. Going to have breakfast in bed this morning, or breakfast in my room, because it's going to be a Huel shake. So yeah, time to do some sit-ups, and then we'll crack on. It'll be apparent to most people, but I've actually made some obviously quite big changes, which I'm certainly feeling the results now in terms of how much more food I'm eating. Do I feel stronger? You know, that picture I took at the gym where my arm was like that, it looked really thin. I don't think I look quite as thin on the arms now, because I have been doing quite a lot of weight, even if it doesn't really look it. But I'm feeling really strong here in my core, and I'm also feeling my shoulders feel really strong. That's something that I felt really weak on. I couldn't even lift tables too long ago. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I feel like I'm in pretty decent shape. So yeah, definitely now time for a Huel shaker. So that's my breakfast in bread. This is the ultra marathon runners breakfast in bed, a Huel protein shake. A lot of people really want to do this, but yeah, I quite like the process of doing powders and whatnot. But let's tip that second one in. I did try to do it in my room, but then I realised I started to get vanilla powder over the bed, so I've now left the lid in there. Better not shake it till I put that back on. Okay, 2 lots are in. Hope I've tightened that properly. My dad hates people who shake bottles like this while they're at the gym. Okay, should be done. Strange with this, it is apparently like oat flour, and it almost goes back into like porridge oats from powder. So yeah, it's strange how that happens. Let's see if it tastes a bit more vanilla-y this time, because last time it was a bit watery, I think. I do like it. I do like it a lot. So I do prefer the drinks, but it's so convenient as well, because you don't have to worry about storage and putting things in the fridge. So yeah, happy with that. Right, gonna have a yogurt still. I made a bit of a checklist essentially for my runs. So I've got some road names and some sort of signs that I know I can find that has a bit of these words on. The Easter one's not quite that, as I was kind of explaining earlier. It doesn't say that, the road sign, but I'm going to get a picture of the bit I wanted to anyway. I think this is going to be a longer run than I thought, actually, because Egg's the closest one. The biggest distance is probably about 8 miles in terms of getting out and back. So yeah, going to go nice and easy. Should be quite fun anyway, something to aim for, something to look out for. And yeah, take this little list with me just so I don't forget where I'm going. But a couple of them are quite close together, so yeah, we'll hopefully won't be out too long because I want to get to the gym. Coming up to the first one, it's freezing by the way this morning. Yeah, it's a real northeast breeze, so I may look a bit odd, but my nose is cold. So yeah, we got an egg first for this one. Basically running to a entrance to a local farm which sells eggs. I've had to get rid of Palm out of my challenge today because I realised it's actually a very posh house, it's not a road. So it's like called Palm Close or Palm something, Palm House, and then I realised, yeah, it's not something you just get a picture of, so got 7 to get, mainly road signs. There's a chicken shop, because there's nothing locally that says chick, so I've got a chicken shop I need to get a picture of, and a pub called The Lamb, because I didn't realise lamb was something that's very traditional to eat on Easter. So, yeah. Oh, it's so windy and cold again. I don't know if you can hear that, but anyway, it's going to be a long run. This I reckon it'll be 9 miles at least. So, yeah, let's get this first picture anyway. Say egg out the front, but you can see by the logo, the 2 O's in rookery were eggs, so I'm giving that. Next one is Ash. So, this is a road sign. I don't really know, but Ash Wednesday apparently is an Easter thing. I'm really not very good at the Easter sort of names and stories, so yeah, apparently that's one. So I'm going to do that one next. Then I believe we're on to Cross. Then I think I've got to do the furthest one away, which is Hunters. It's like a road, like Hunters Close, so it's like a Easter egg Hunters are close. That's how I'm treating it. And then on the way back it'll be lamb chick, and I couldn't find Easter, but I found something that was Eastover, so if we just ignore the fact there's an O and a V in the middle, we'll just pretend that's Easter, but that'll be the last one when I'm nearly home. Here we are, we've got Ash. That was a lot further than I thought, that one. That was about, well, I'm up to 6.6k, I've only done 2 at 7. Cross. Oh, it's just started to rain. Oh, so it's raining, which I said I couldn't moan about, so I'm not going to moan. I'm quite glad. That being said, I'm really glad that Palm Court or house, whatever it was called, wasn't somewhere where I can go, because I'm already over 10 miles. So I think probably by the end it's going to be just over 12. I've still got to go to the Lamb, which I'm getting very near. And then I keep forgetting which other one it is. The chicken shop. I need to remind myself. The chicken shop, and then the east side to finish. And the other thing as well is, I was thinking, whatever was the Eastern Aussie Lent's a big one. I could have done lentils. I'm not even having lentils today, but I'm giving that as my one instead of palm. So, Lent for lentils. That'll do me. Oh, here comes Mum. There we are. Got the lamb. Just went past the chicken shop. It wasn't even there. It's a different one now. I thought it never smelled like chicken when you went by it. Anyway, I know this last one's there. That's the main thing. It's really chucking it down now. I'm so glad I got this phone case. Better put it away before I damage this phone and won't have to upload the vlog. There is the last one, Eastover. Let's just get rid of the OV and say it says Easter. Oh, it's chucking it down now, by the way, so by the time I get back, I'm going to be just under 20k, which essentially would be the last part of my master plan, because it's 80k is the final major rest stop before the end. So I'm going to say I've done 2 jobs in one today. I've done the Easter treasure hunt run, and I've also done stage 4 or 5, whatever it was, of my master plan. I finished the ultra. So Mum is good. She's not here today. because she's going out for, I don't know what they're doing, I wasn't listening. Anyway, post-it note, she asked, what do I want, anything for lunch? I said 1 flatbread. And she's also done dinner, well, sort of. She's kind of given us the choice of what we want, but she's done us some chicken. So I can tick that off my list now, because Mum obviously knew I was doing this today, I guess, and did chicken. And obviously, as I said, lentils. So, on the list, we got egg, we got ash, we got lent, lamb, cross, chicken, Easter, and hunt. We did pretty well there, I'm happy with that. Time to do the Easter challenge. It is raining, as you can see by my glasses, so I'm going to do a very quick one. I'm going to explain it indoors. As you saw yesterday, I also had loads of pink Easter eggs. Decided they were a little bit too small, so I've gone back to the shop where I got those Easter eggs from. And the shopkeeper basically said, yes, we have one giant Easter egg. And it's this one. So I said, unfortunately, I've been for a run, got no money. Can I have it for free? He said, no. Well, maybe on one condition, if you can go all the way back to the end of the street, to the bus stop and back to me without using your hands to carry it, you're allowed to keep the Easter egg for free. So essentially what I've got to do is keep this ball with keepy uppies and go all the way down to the end of the garden and back, or the bus stop and back, and see if I can bring it back to the shop in one piece. So it's not allowed to hit the floor. If it hits the floor, game over. I don't get the egg, it's broken. I'm going to have to pay for it anyway. So that is today's Easter challenge. So you're going to have to watch me, unfortunately, from inside because of the rain. So here we go. Got to get all the way out and back. Gonna have another go. Rubbish. I didn't want the egg anyway. Without making this sound too serious and stuff, because these vlogs aren't meant to be, I reckon, I think I've mentioned this before, but when I look back at that picture of me with my, gym one a minute ago compared to what I look like today, my actual forearm's bigger than my bicep, and I reckon I was at least 10 pounds underweight. I knew I was underweight because I did a BMI from when I last weighed myself, but I was getting thinner and thinner. I'm absolutely certain if I carried on the way I was, I would not have completed some of these runs. I would have either just collapsed on a run out of pure fatigue, or, I just wouldn't have been able to have done it. I would have had to turn around. So I'm so glad I made the changes when I did. And as I said, it sounds silly, but eating things like chocolate and nuts and stuff has been the biggest change. You do need a bit of rubbish every so often. You don't think that just eating a load of fruit and running more and whatever is the best thing, because there is a limit. And I think that's a message to anyone. If you're starting to get into things like running and stuff, you do catch a bug where you think more is better, and then if you miss a run, you're like, oh God, what am I going to do? And you panic. It's okay. Sometimes you just got to step back and just think, right, it's not going to hurt me. Because that was the mistake I made. I was almost so healthy, I was making myself unhealthy. I've also done me some fruit as well for dinner tonight. Honestly, I have to do, well, I don't have to do anything, do I? It's so easy. Not going to move out anytime soon. It is now time to do some active darts challenges. As I said, darts players get a lot of stick. So basically, there's a lot of people that don't think darts is a sport. Now, I think it is, not so much because it's active. Obviously, we know it's not really. You don't get out of breath. You shouldn't be out of breath playing darts. But it's a tough game mentally, and I think sport is about the mental side more than anything. However, how can we make darts more active? How can we get those people who don't think it's a sport because it's not physical enough? How can we get them to change their mind? Well, I'm going to come up with a few ideas, some games that we can essentially use to make darts a more active game rather than the traditional darts that you see on the TV. So we're going to do a sort of cardio-based sort of sprint session of darts. We're going to do a sort of weight training game, or body weight training game, resistance training game. And before we do that, though, we're going to just do a rough idea. I'm going to just throw a few darts and let's play for about 15 minutes maybe while I have a drink. And yeah, let's just see how many steps that would be roughly over the course of an hour. Because as I said earlier, I think a game's roughly about an hour long. So if anyone doesn't know the rules of darts, essentially you play from a score of 501 points. And the highest sort of number on the board that you need to hit is a treble 20, which is worth 60 points. So what we're going to do in a minute is, I love my room setup, by the way. So obviously you've seen I've got a kettle. I've got a tin of tea bags and coffee and all that in it. Don't want to tip it because it might fall out. But I'm still going through the Premier Inn coffee sachets. So in a minute, what I'm going to do after I've counted the amount of steps I can do in so many minutes, I'm going to boil the kettle, and I've got to try and do a leg of 501 before the kettle boils, and then I can make the coffee. So that's the challenge. Can I complete a leg of 501 before the kettle boils? I've set it to about 4 on the kettle, so 4 cups, because obviously I like the big cups. But yeah, we'll try that. And then the other one we're going to do, we're going to basically try and hit a certain number, and then that's the amount of press-ups or something I've got to do. I'll work it out in a minute. Anyway, let's see how many steps I take per throw. Right, so let's just throw these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I sort of turn round. I'm going to say 8. Let's see if that's the same every time without counting your steps, because I don't think your opponent would appreciate you going 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's just walk normally. 6. Yeah, it's about 8 steps. Okay, that's a good start. The thing that darts is very good for is counting, because obviously you have to count a lot of scores, and if you lose, you have to chalk for your, the next game or whatever. I'm hoping I've got my calculations correct here in terms of steps. So I was getting a bit confused, so I only did 1 minute playing in the end. So what I've put, and I know this is backwards to you, but 1 minute I did 5 throws. So essentially I went to the board 5 times and then come back. That's 8 steps per throw. So remember that, 8 steps per throw. So 8 times 5 means we're doing about 40 steps a minute. And obviously if we do 40 steps for 60 minutes, I'm saying it's 2,400 steps. So essentially we're saying that 10,000 steps is what's considered healthy, as we've mentioned before. So that means you'd have to be playing for over 4 hours, essentially, of darts to get 10,000 steps. Don't think many people are going to play for 4 hours, but it's time on your feet. That's all that matters. Anyway, I'm thirsty. Let's have a go at the kettle game. And the kettle is going on. So, I've got the darts in my hand. And here we go. Right, I'll flip the switch. So the time starts. 501 points. 20. 40. 100. 401. Good start. Treble 20. Treble 19. Oh, look at this though. I know I'm meant to be racing this, but I'm on form here. Treble 20, treble 19, 19, 136. So I'm now on 265 points to go. So I'm glad I got this on camera. 19. 19. Oh, that's a 3. 41. So that puts me on 246, 227, 224. 20. Treble 20. 81. 143. Can you hear the kettle? Right, treble 20, 83 left. Let's go treble 11, bullseye. Oh, bullseye! Oh! I'll tell you what, I'm on fire here. Treble 20, treble 11, 25 left. I missed the bullseye. Right, that kettle's now starting to boil. Quick, Harry. Need to hit a double, remember. Oh no. 7 left. Double 2. Oh, bust will score. Oh, my flight's falling off. Yes! I've done it. 3, double 11, and I even avoided SpongeBob. And the kettle is still boiling. How much time did I have left? Not a lot. Here we go. Oh, that's stinking. So I reckon there I beat it by about 20 seconds. That's not bad going. That was quite tough. And it felt like a workout. So there's one game that was a success. So the next game we're going to do, we're going to throw just 3 darts here. Essentially, you don't want to get as many points on this game, because basically what we do a round where basically the points you get are the amount of press-ups you've got to do. So that's the first one. So let's try and not hit a treble 20. I want to hit 3 ones, so I have to do 3 press-ups. The next one will be sit-ups, and then we'll do star jumps or something. So we'll have 3 rounds, 3 throws, and yeah, just see how many I've got to do of each. Now the 1 is between the 20 and the 18, so definitely don't miss the 1. I'm too good today, it's gone in the 20. I've got 2 1s, that show you. So I have to do in a minute 22 press-ups. That's okay. Right, I'm going to aim for the 2, which is between a 17 and a 15. So again, definitely don't want to miss the number 2. 17, right, it's not a good start. 2. See, well, this is nerve-wracking and a double 2, so 17 add 6 in total is 23. So 22 press-ups and 23 sit-ups. And the 3 is between the 19 and the 17. So again, please keep it straight. This is very nerve-wracking. This is a lot more nerve-wracking than the other one. 3. Oh, I've hit a 19. And a 3. So, just to confirm, 25. So 22 press-ups, 23 sit-ups, and 25 star jumps. Let's get on with it, because my coffee's still too hot. 17. 20. 21. Oh. I don't know if that will catch on with darts players, to be honest with you. A game where you've got to get the lowest score, but that was hard work. Hi Harry, do you want to come and have a practice at some point? Play some darts? 11, 12. Yeah, sure. Are we going to do sit-ups and press-ups? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I won't play darts with you then. Probably why I don't have a practice partner. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. Oh. Honestly, people downstairs must be thinking, what is all that banging noise? Thought you were playing darts, Harry. I am, just doing star jumps as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some darts while I'm looking at these. And if there's anything I can pick out that maybe I don't do, obviously my foot care stuff's bizarre, I know. But if there's anything that maybe I think actually that would work for me, I'm going to write them down and then we'll put them into practice at some point in the next week or so, just to see if that can get me ready. I definitely think night walking and running, I'm definitely going to have a look at that. But yeah, I'm going to throw some darts while this is on in the background and yeah, see what I can pick up.
Porridge, goats, that sort of things. Again, not for weeks before the event, but certainly it's proven in
Telling me to eat porridge and eat a lot of protein and stuff. Someone already does that. Getting plenty of good notes. I'll share these at some point. Some new ideas that I certainly haven't considered, so I'm very glad. That's it for today. No, it's been a very long one, so I apologise as well. And thank you for those that are still watching these and watching them all the way through. I'll keep this nice and short. Just made my breakfast for tomorrow. Porridge again. As you heard, it's a good tip. You need to have porridge before the event. Not convinced those darts games would be very popular with darts players, I must admit, but I enjoyed doing them anyway, and I have to say, darts doesn't need to change. It's great as it is. Keep it as, in my opinion, the sport it is, and it's not all about being physical sport. It's about, respect and all of that. There's a lot more to sport than just the physical side. There's a mental aspect as well. Turns tomorrow, got the other Easter challenge. Going to go for a little run first and then go to the gym, so the usual stuff. And then, as my brother isn't around tomorrow afternoon, because he's going to go and watch some football, I'm going to have another go at looking at a map and doing a local trail walk. It's not as hilly as the last one, but hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to sort of suss out as well. So, yeah, plenty of things planned next week. Another week down. I can't believe how fast these weeks are going. But yeah, again, I hope you enjoy this one, and yeah, catch you later.